What's up, everybody? My name is Carver Melton. I teach biblical wisdom, and today we're going to be talking about what to do with voices that disqualify you, people that don't believe in you. Maybe you don't believe in yourself. There's a voice in the back of your head that's like, you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you're not strong enough, you don't have enough experience. And so, what do you do in that situation? How do you get through it? We're going to talk about that today. The Bible's rich on this topic. The verse that we're going to open up with is actually 1 Timothy 4:12. It says, "Don't let anyone look down on you because you are young, but set an example for the believers in speech, in conduct, in love, in faith, and in purity." Don't let anyone look down on you because you are young, but set an example for the believers in speech, in conduct, in love, in faith, and in purity. When I was 20, 21, 22, a couple years ago, I was in construction. I did in-ground pool building. And we had to wait on concrete because we had done everything that we could up until that point. And concrete needs to be delivered. Like it has to show up on a truck. And sometimes it'd take 30 minutes, sometimes it would take 3 hours. Just depending on the day, depending on how busy they were. This particular one took forever. Like they just took a while. So it's just me and like 5 other dudes. And we decided that we're going to start competing in things. Because dudes love to compete. We want to win. And I don't know if you know this about dudes, but it doesn't matter what we're doing, how silly or how serious. We want to be the best at it. And if we're not, we start ranking each other. So we get into a situation where we're like doing arm wrestles and stuff like that. But one of the things was a foot race. We're going to see who's the fastest. And so we all start lining up. And as I'm walking to the start line, I start to realize, like, if I lose this, it doesn't matter that I'm the boss and that I'm pulling the trailer and that I make the decisions. It doesn't matter that I'm the most skilled here. It doesn't matter about any of that stuff. I'm always going to be known as the slow guy. They're gonna be like, I'm gonna make a decision and be like, hey guys, we need to do this. Here's the plan. We're gonna go over here. And they're gonna be like, all right, turtley boy. All right, slow poke. Like, I'm just never gonna live it down. You're too turtly for the turtle club, turtle boy. So I'm thinking this in my head. I'm like, if I lose this, I'm never gonna be able to make decisions again because they're always gonna remember me as the slow guy. So we line up on this line. And I come up with a plan, and the plan's perfect. The plan is amazing. He says, go, and everybody starts running. And what I do is I don't run. I do this like slow motion thing, and then I pretend that I'm out of breath, like 2 steps in, and then I just start walking. And that it did a couple of things. One, if I wasn't trying, then I didn't actually lose because people didn't see what I was actually capable of. That's the first thing. And 2, nobody could say that I was slow because they didn't see that I was actually slow. I didn't put my effort in, right? And the plan worked. I mean, they never mentioned it ever again. But I always remember that moment because, the difference between, well, first of all, I could have won. Like, you never know. But secondly, the difference between me and everybody else is the guys who did lose, they lost at the finish line. And me, I lost at the start line. And that's a huge difference. I let that voice in my head, I let that voice in my mind, the one that was like, you're not fast enough, you're not qualified, you're not good enough for this. That disbelief whispered in my ear, and I listened to it, and it disqualified me from the race. I didn't run my race. It says in Hebrews 12:1, and let us run the race with perseverance, marked out for us, fixing our eyes on Jesus. And I guarantee you, if I would have just been confident and focused on all the right things and just had fun, I could have just run the race, you know. And if it's something as silly as a foot race while waiting for concrete, how much more serious is it for things that actually matter, things in your life that you care about, you know, your job or what God's called you to, your purpose and your plan in your life. And those disqualifying voices, they can get in your head and they can tell you you're not enough and they can discount you from the race. So don't let them do that. Don't listen to them. You know? Run your race. It says, don't let anyone look down on you because you are young, but set an example. Set an example. It says, do not let anyone look down on you. Now, I know it says because you're young, but you could replace that with anything. Do not let anybody look down on you because you're inexperienced. Do not let anybody look down on you because you're not smart enough. Do not let anybody look down on you because you're not cool enough. Do not let anybody look down on you because you're not talented enough. Do not let anybody look down on you because you're not fast enough. Enough. You see the pattern here? That disqualifying voice is going to make you feel like you're not enough. And it's saying, do not let, but instead be an example. Do it anyways. Go anyways. God is calling you forward anyways. He says he's got a purpose and a plan for you, and you have to step into that anyways, no matter what those negative voices say. And if you don't do it, you're going to forfeit the race. In doing so, you're going to forfeit the adventure of your life. So I'm going to go over a couple of points that'll help us, you know, step into the plan and the purpose that God has called us into. How to stop listening to the disqualifying voices, the negative voices, and to be the example for those around us. And point number one is, don't invite the vampires in. Don't invite the vampires in. It's fitting because it's foggy around me right now. The very first words in this verse, 1 Timothy 4:12, it says, do not let anyone. Those are choice words. That means it's your choice if you let them. Now, I'm not saying that people can't look at you a funny way or think about you in a funny way. You can't control what people think and how people perceive. You're not going to change the way people look at you. People are going to think what they want and do what they want, and it's always going to be that way. But you don't have to let it in. You don't have to let it affect you. It's your choice. So people are going to look at you, but you don't have to let it into your space, into your heart, and into your mind, right? God gives us the power to get rid of that. You know, they're trying to disqualify you. Well, you can disqualify their opinion. You can disqualify their perception of you. You don't have to let it. What does let mean? Someone comes up to you and says, hey, can I hang out with you guys? Can I go with you guys to, the mall? You have a choice. Are you going to let him come? Or are you not going to let him come? That's your choice. It's up to you. If you let him come, he's going to influence you. So imagine some dude comes in and he's like, hey man, you suck. You're not able to do anything in life. You're not good enough. You really think you can do that? Oh, by the way, can I come with you? And you're like, yeah, come on in. It's like, don't do that. Don't let him. It's your choice. You don't have to invite him into your space. You guys know what a parasite is? A parasite is something like a leech or a tick. What it does is it attaches to you, and it lives primarily off of taking nutrients and all the things that are good and all the things that make you healthy good from you. So it lives by stealing what you need. It sucks your blood, if you want to be more specific. And so it'll attach itself to you, and it lives off of the host, right? You're the host. It attaches itself to you, and it lives by stealing from you. So imagine that a vampire knocks at your door. A vampire is a parasite. He sucks your blood, right? Well, the thing about a vampire is is you gotta invite him in. You know, he knocks at your door, he knocks at your house, and you have a choice. He says, hey, can I come in? And you can say yes or you can say no. It's your choice. You can let him in or you can kick him out. You know, say no, close the door on his face. And what happens to most of us is vampire knocks on the door, parasite knocks on the door, and he says, can I come in? And we let him in. We let him into our space. What's our home? Our home is where we belong. Home is where we're safe. A home is where we can rest. A home is where we're comfortable, where we can kick our feet up, right? People say make yourself at home so you can become comfortable. That's your space. And who you let in is who you should trust. So when you let the vampires in, all that's going to happen is he's going to drain the life out of you. He's going to take everything that's good. He's going to steal all your joy. He's going to steal all your peace. He's going to steal all your patience. He's going to steal all your energy. Why? Because he's a leech. He's a parasite. Negative voices are vampires. Negative voices are parasites. Disqualifying voices are vampires. Disqualifying voices are parasites. Why? Because they just drain the life out of you. But you don't have to let them in. It's your choice. You know, a negative voice knocks on your heart and your mind. Someone says something. Ugh, why would they say that? They're supposed to believe in me. What? They don't believe in me? You don't have to let that in. You don't have to let that affect you. They're going to think what they want to think. Everybody has an opinion about everything. And not all opinions are smart. And not all opinions are true. But you don't have to let it in your space. You don't have to invite the vampire in so that it'll drain the life from you. So don't do it. I got 2 verses for you. Genesis 4:7. If you do what is right, will you not be accepted? But if you do not do what is right, sin is crouching at your door, and it desires to have you, but you must rule over it. You know what rule over it means? Vampire knocks at your door. It wants to come into your space and have its way with you. You close the door on its face. You say, no, I'm not letting you in. Because you have that power. It's your choice. You got to rule over it. John 10:10, the thief comes only to steal, kill, and destroy. I came that you may have life and have it abundantly. Who came? Jesus. So vampire knocks on your door. Negative voices knock on your door. Disqualifying voices knock on your door. You close the door on its face because it wants to steal, kill, and destroy you and rob you of your peace and your joy. And then you look at Jesus and you live in abundance because Jesus believes in you. Jesus calls you forward. Jesus says, be the example. He's the qualifying voice. He's the one that's saying, not only should you, but you're going to. And so that's point number 1. Don't invite the vampires in. It's your choice. You don't have to make your bed with the parasites. You shouldn't. It'll drain the life out of you. Point number 2, be what you want to see. Be what you want to see. It says, be the example. What's an example? Imagine you're walking by a store and it has a showcase. And the showcase has what? Examples. It's the thing that when you're walking by, you look at it and you go, oh, ooh, look at that. That's cool. And then you go into the store and you buy it because it drew you in, right? It's enticing. So whatever they showcase is the best version of whatever they have. And the entire idea is to draw you into the store, you know, to get you sold on whatever the thing is. And a lot of you, and I've had times in my life where I've done this too, you've walked past Christians who are showcasing a version of Christianity that you don't like. And it's upsetting. And you're like, no, the Bible doesn't say that. The Bible doesn't tell you to do that. The Bible doesn't say act that way. You're supposed to be this Christian. Why are you acting like that? That doesn't look like Jesus at all. And then you get upset and you get bitter and you get angry and you're like, this should change. And you're right. It should. Like, they shouldn't have said you're not enough. They shouldn't have said you're not smart enough. They shouldn't have said that you're not skilled enough. They shouldn't have said that you're not strong enough. They shouldn't have said that they didn't believe in you. They shouldn't have said those things. But they did. And if you wait on them to change, you're going to be waiting forever, because what they do is not in your control. Only what you do is in your control. Remember, it says, do not let. It's your choice what you do. And so you walk past the showcase of Christianity, you see something you don't like. Well, if you don't see it, you got to be it. You got to be what you want to see. No, the idea is that you be the example. They didn't tell the truth. They lied to you. You tell the truth, and you don't lie. You. They didn't treat you kindly. They were mean to you. You be kind. You be the example. They didn't show up and take you seriously. You show up for others, and you take others seriously. You be the example. You be what you want to see. If you don't see it, you be it. You have to be the example. When other people walk past the store of Christianity, using the metaphor, and they look in the showcase, they ought to see you being the example. And they ought to be so sold on it that they go into the store and they say, man, I'm bought in on this Jesus thing. I'm sold on this Jesus thing. And they become Christians. Why? Not because they looked at the people that upset you, because they looked at you, because you didn't let the vampires in, and you didn't let them disqualify you, and you didn't get bitter and angry, and instead you became what you wanted to see. You became the example. You did. You. Because if you wait on everybody else, you're going to be waiting forever. They're never going to change. And if they do, it's not because of you. It's because of God. And so that's still not within your control. So you might as well just worry about yourself. You do it. It says in James 1:22, but be doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving yourselves. So if you know what the right thing is and you don't do it, then you're at fault. So are they, but so are you. So if somebody upsets you, like let's say someone lies to you and you're like, hey dude, that's not what a Christian's supposed to do. You tell the truth, because the fact that it upset you means that you know where the line is. And so if you lie too, you're the same as them. And why would you want to do that? You didn't want to see it, so why would you be it? So you gotta be what you want to see. I've heard it said this way. If you have a problem with something, it's your problem to solve. Meaning if something annoys you, if something is like, ugh, I hate that, I wish I could fix that. Fix it. Make it your problem. It annoys you for a reason. You know, they say that interests and annoyances, they don't necessarily come from you, right? You don't necessarily choose those things, they choose you. It's like, try to be interested in something that you're not interested in, and try to be annoyed on something that you're not usually annoyed in. It's like, you can't choose it. You might be able to do it for a day or two, but like, you can't force it. It's because it chooses you. What annoys you chooses you, and what interests you chooses you. That's because it's a call from God. He's calling you forward to be the example. If there's something that annoys you, step into it. You do it. You be the example. So my question to you is, what voices are you going to listen to? Are you going to listen to the voice of the disqualifier? The voice of negativity? The voice that says you're not enough? Or are you going to listen to God saying, be the example. You do it. You showcase it. You're going to listen to people say that you're not enough? You're going to listen to people say that nothing that you do is going to work, the voice of disbelief? Or are you going to listen to God, Jesus, pulling you forward into the thing that He's created you to be? Which one are you going to listen to? Because whichever one you listen to is going to be the difference between you losing at the start line and you winning the race. But not just winning in a way where you win, but winning in a way where you get everybody else across the finish line with you. because there's tons of people that are listening to the vampires, they're listening to the parasites, they're listening to the disqualifying voices, and they're losing at the start line. And they need people like you to stand up and show them what Christianity actually is, and to help them cross the finish line. Because in Christianity, it's not about winning. It's not about getting there first. It's about how many people do you bring across the finish line with you. The point's not just to get to heaven. If the point was just to get to heaven, we'd be zapped up instantly. The point is, we have work to do here. Like, you get saved, that's great. That's amazing. Share the good news with other people. Help them. And so run your race. Don't let those voices disqualify you. Be the example. Showcase it. Be what you want to see. And help others into it. Okay, I know that I didn't go over the entire verse. There's a whole nother section to that. And I'll be honest with you, I was struggling with the idea of doing all 5 of those, because it says believers in speech, conduct, love, faith, and purity. And it's like, how do I fit that into like a 5-minute, 1-point segment? It's like, you don't. You just split it over 5 videos. So that's the plan. Over the next 5 videos that I produce, they'll be on those topics. So in speech, how we talk, conduct, how we act, love, basically a heart turns outward, faith, being able to believe, and in purity, which is an interesting topic in and of itself, and we'll talk about it. So stay tuned. Check me out on Spotify if you don't like watching, and if you're on Spotify, check me out on YouTube if you like to watch. You'll be able to see this truck pass me. Very loud. Cool truck though. All right, guys. See you in the next one.